All right, folks, so welcome back. Now it's time for me to talk to my first guest for the night. And this is none other, ladies and gentlemen, than Uncle Jonny. Welcome, Uncle Jonny, to Up and Live.
Hey, thank you, Too Sweet. Great to be here.
It's indeed a pleasure having you on set. Now, you have quite an illustrious career. You've been doing this for over 20 years. But tell me how you got started in the business. Reggae, that is.
Well, I got started in reggae, about 20 years ago. I was in a punk rock soul band, actually. I was a drummer. And the guitar player, the name of the band was The Customers. And Neil Gertler and Joel Rudin, a little plug for my friends there. I was the drummer, and Neil was a real reggae enthusiast. So just from osmosis, I got into reggae, and I think I was predisposed somehow in my soul when I was a youngster. And the chemical reaction produced Uncle Jonny.
All right.
Yes.
Now, that's quite an interesting name, though. Uncle Jonny kind of give you that a personal feel to somebody who is listening to your music. Because, that's my Uncle Jonny. How the name came about?
I have 12 nieces and nephews.
All right. The
That's
official
it.
uncle. All right, peeps? So don't get it twisted. All right, Uncle Jonny. Now, you came here over 20 years ago. You met up with the great Sugar Minott.
Yes, I did.
Tell me about that.
Well, it was a chance meeting. He was performing in Montego Bay, and we were there just hanging out. And I met him and said, I'm a reggae singer from Toronto. And, Sugar, God bless his soul, was an unbelievable guy for bringing in young talent into the business with, youth promotion and all that stuff. And he simply invited me to Walton Park Road. And I took with the taxi the next day, went there. Took a while, mind you, for Sugar to wake up and get it together, but he got me going, and it was quite an experience. The song was called How Could You Do This? And it did pretty well in the reggae charts in Toronto way back. And that's how I got started.
All right, so you continued doing music from then, and you decided that reggae music was your choice.
Exactly.
Tell me about some the other works that you had put in over 20 years. It's quite a while. So tell me about some of the other works that you put in during that time.
Well, a lot of work I was doing some session work in Toronto. As a drummer, so I was going back and forth as singing and drumming. I worked with Leroy Sibbles, played bass. Toronto's a good reggae town. There's a lot going on, especially back then. So it was a place called Comfort Sound. I do some session drumming with Leroy Sibbles on bass. We'd back up acts like the Pioneers. So it goes back. I'm dating myself a bit, but and I played a lot with the Customers, and then the Excursion was another form of the band. So I was doing a lot of drumming, and I did some work with Sugar Minott back and forth for a few years, and then just did a lot of my own. I sort of cooled down a bit, did some writing, did some cantorial music actually at the synagogue, which is kind of a little different, but it's me. It's part of Uncle Jonny. Did some of that, so it's a bit of a package deal you get with me.
You ever met up on any form of resistance? Because, you're not the dreadlock-looking type of, artist that people would stereotype with reggae music, all right? You ever met up on any resistance performing, or people just accepted you on the fact that, you love reggae music and what you're doing is good music?
Yeah, you know what? Basically, everything has been pretty smooth. There was I don't want to mention any names. I had an incident. If you watch my video, you'll see at the beginning of the video, we won't say right now, but there's a very strong message about a pretty famous artist that kind of dissed me when I was here doing Jamaican Girls last time. It was really the only experience I've had. And I decided to recreate it in the video because I was a little bit shocked, but hey, it's life, right? It's the world out there. But overall, it's been well received. Yeah.
All right, now in this video, and the single, it's yourself and Luciano.
You bet.
Now tell me how that came about.
Well, I got to big up my friend Mr. Reagan here, who's a famous DJ from way back, who actually just introduced me to Luciano. And Luciano and I think our souls matched pretty good. We were meant to be. We got along really well, and I said, I got a couple songs that I wrote. One I'd like you to produce, and one I'd like you to do with me. Because when I write songs, I have certain themes in mind. The song I did with Luciano is all about racism. It's a very conscious song, and I knew right from when I wrote it, that's the guy I wanted to do it with. And we bonded right from the get-go. Yeah, and I'm very proud of this work, and Luciano, I'm sure, is too.
Now, before we actually show them the video now, tell me a little bit about the work that went into the video. What was the video shoot like?
You know what? The video shoot was fantastic. It was smooth. I worked with Ray Smith and Asher. I'm sure you know those guys. They do fantastic work.
Oh, yeah.
Got to big them up because not only are they very talented at what they do, but they're really great guys too. And I think when you're doing work with people, it helps to have a vibe and get along and have a connection besides the talent, the quality of the work. So.
Right.
Yeah, you know, we had some ideas. Luciano had an idea to get a bus. And again, I got to big up my buddy here, Mr. Reagan. He actually negotiated he got the bus. He said, I'll be back. And he went down to, the bus station at Tivoli Gardens and simply talked to a bus driver and got the bus.
Reagan, big up.
Well, you got to big him up because pretty well whatever I need done, he gets it done.